Hi, happy Wednesday. It's July 12th. This is Angela Harmon. I've got my shades on today. My sister said, looking like Stevie Wonder. I love Stevie Wonder. And I have an actual cold or virus in my eye, so I don't want to impact the world with that. So I'm got my Ray-Bans on, feeling all chilled. And welcome to our opportunity to speak consciously. I've invited some people from Facebook and LinkedIn. Hopefully they'll pop in. And we do this bi-weekly Wednesdays at noon. It is called Conscious Conversations by Happy Academy. When we put first things first from my facilitations of the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. And it's a lengthy one today. So my sister will be reading that for us after she introduces herself and open us with spiritual mind treatment. Welcome aboard.
Oh, yes. Thank you. Welcome, everybody, to Conscious Conversations. We are so happy that you're here with us, that you have joined us bi-weekly. My name is Ellen Suazo, and I am with Conscious Living. And you can find me on Facebook as well and learn all the things that I do, okay, as a holistic entrepreneur. So here today, I invite you to just center yourself. Let's allow ourselves to be centered in the space of love, in the space of gratitude, in the space of greatness, knowing that God is good, knowing that all is good, regardless of what is happening in your life. I need you to really know that truth for yourself, for your loved ones, and for the world. Let's breathe into that truth, that all is good, regardless of appearances, because all is God. And as I align myself with that power, I vibrate in that power of love, in that power of infinite possibilities, in the power of wholeness, health, knowing that anything and everything that is showing up in our bodies or feeling in our bodies know that our bodies are releasing all that no longer serves it. What a great thing to know that our body is so smart and he knows what to do. And so we're going, each one of us, whatever you are feeling, is processing, is releasing to become the new you that is able to recognize and to able to enjoy the life of God, the life of good, the life of prosperity, the life of wholeness. And knowing that, we say, and so it is, and now it is, Ashe.
Thank you. Beautiful.
Okay, so our reading for today is lengthy. And today is July 12th. And what it says is there's a sense of peace when we are out in nature. Seasons come and go with regularity. They are cycles of life, giving and receiving in a beautiful, harmonious whole. Even cataclysmic events, storms, earthquakes, flows are part of a larger harmony, a natural cycle of growth and change. Nature is always becoming. The beauty of nature constantly unfolds in accordance with its law. Nature teaches us much about peace. It reminds us that there are laws and that they are in control. With that reminder, it is a sense of comfort that there is order in the universe. Ah, yes, this is just so perfect for the two of us.
It is.
Because as Angela just mentioned, she's just going through a situation in her eyes, and I have been a bit experiencing some ITU situation, and it has been challenging for the last 3 days for me. But today I knew what my body was doing, even though that at times when you're going through things, it can be challenging. I must recognize that. And what I know is that the only reason why I can do what I do nowadays is because of my practice, and I can remember that, and because of my prayer partner, because she reminds me that as well. So it's beautiful to know that that we're just going through process, just as the earth is going through process. What is your take on this reading, sister?
I think you nailed it. I like that there's an order to things. I thought about the fact that we met during a pandemic, the onset of a pandemic in February of 2020, and people were walking around probably with the virus, and we're hugging because we're a hugging community. And knock wood, that I went through that whole pandemic without that. And then I come to this side of it and I go out to a funeral, or it was a balloon ceremony, and joined a new gym. And these are the things that I'm tracking to see where this infection came from. And I still got that. So I think what it reminds me of is that we are to pray without ceasing. We are to affirm without ceasing, if that's a word that people want to use, because the power that is in us will remind us that it is the power, and we're not. We're not source. I think yesterday was what, we're the agent, we're the vehicle, we're the vessel, but we're not source and we're not principle. So I don't get to dictate what happens to me, but I get to dictate how I use what happens to me, either for a good purpose or for a negative purpose. So one of the things that happened, because I did go to the doctor for this Wednesday a week ago, and they said, well, it'll run its course, and it got worse instead of better. And they didn't actually medicate me with anything. And now I actually have eye drops for it. And what I thought about when I was talking with my prayer partner before we started this, and she nailed it there too, was that sometimes we're going through something and we're not to prevent the process. And I think that's what I was going through. So although these eye drops may help heal it quicker, I think the healing has already begun, because our bodies heal themselves. They go through a process. They have to purge things. And a lot had happened in the last week in my life, with a daughter of mine losing a very good friend to what looked like almost suicide, um, and a new relationship with a gentleman, and the world today the way it is. That's a lot going on. So the body's going to respond in some kind of way. So I'm glad it's just a little thing. When you look at it that way, it's just a small thing, but I need my eyes, and they're important to me because I read and I write. So I honor Stevie Wonder, who's able to walk around in this world and not be able to see the way we see, but he sees beyond what we see. So I think everything has a practice and a lesson in it. And we're not to take anything for granted, is what I see with this process I'm going through.
Yeah.
And respect nature.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I love what you just said, respect nature. And part of nature is knowing and accepting that there's a law always happening, and it is always in order, regardless of what we think or what it may look like. And I think knowing those spiritual laws that are changeless, they're ageless. When you know something that does not change, regardless of anything, it doesn't matter how we feel as human. It has nothing to do with what we think, how we feel. They're changeless laws, not like human laws that constantly change. And so one of the laws is order. Order is always one of the main laws of the universe. And when we understand that, when we understand it, when we know it, when we live it in our lives, then we understand that no matter what's going on in our lives, everything is purging, everything is unfolding just the way it needs to, because each day, each one of us has a lot going on. I don't doubt it. I don't doubt it. And some of us more than others. I was thinking this morning that when you have little ones, there's another kind of stresses that you're dealing with. There's another kind of situations and conditions that you have to be ready for every single morning. And so having had that experience for a whole year and just have been released that experience, it has given me a refreshed perspective and such a greater respect for parents. Whether you are a single parent or the two of you are both raising your children. What a great thing if the two of you are raising your children. But if you're a single parent, that is a rough job, depending on how many kids you have. So we want to be gentle with ourselves. One of the things that I would say is be gentle with yourself and allow yourself to be centered every single day. Know that regardless of what looks like, there is order. And everything is developing or unfolding the way it needs to unfold. When you know that you can be centered and know that in you, there's a God that brings you the peace, the knowing, the harmony that you need in order for you to continue throughout the day as you go through the process. That's what's coming to me.
Like that. And in the 7 habits, natural laws and fundamental truths are really the equivalent of a higher power, that which works. And so as we looked at what we read, it was a lot, a mouthful, but it really stemmed on natural laws. And that's why I say respect nature, because it'll guide us. It'll show us what to do. We can see when a storm's coming, or, when the weather is beautiful, when to plant, when to harvest, all those things. So, I do believe that this is a purging. I've had one a couple of times in my life, and it does it in different ways, because if we don't let it out some kind of way, it can develop worse. So I'd rather it be a small inconvenience, or whatever it is. I don't even want to belittle it, because it could worsen. Anything can worsen. Anything untreated worsens. So that's why we treat every day by ourselves, and then on Mondays together. So make sure you're not just treating medically, but you're treating mentally, treating physically, treating spiritually. The people around you are positive to your spirit, to your energy, to your ideas, to your way of being in the world. Because if they're not, they add to an illness. If not first mentally, then physically. So it's important to stay in tune with the natural state of you.
Yes, yes. I love what you just said. Surround yourself with the right people. Oh my God, it's so important. It's so important to surround yourself with the right people. And if you don't have the right people, look for them. And if you're hearing this from us, that's what you're doing. And if you need more of it, if you need more support, make sure that you connect with each one of us, with the one that you want to speak with. And we are just happy to be of service to you here, because what we know is that that's what we're here to this is what God is calling us to do. And so we welcome you.
Thank you. So you can reach us on our Perspective website. Mine is myhappyacademy.org. We do this bi-weekly Wednesdays. We look forward to an audience to dialogue with us and expand this. My sister will close out with hers. Remember the Birds of a Feather, please support that, and the Habits of Teens, because if we are birds of a feather, that means those are the people you want to surround yourself with, people that, they don't have to be the same kind of bird, but they support the earth. They support living on earth, because, all of us have to live on earth. So Who are you surrounding yourself with? And it's about our habits. And if we have effective habits when we're teenagers, we'll have effective habits when we're adults. So are we proactive? Are we pausing and beginning with the end in mind and putting first things first? Or are we reacting and doing the same old thing, expecting different results?
Mm.
Sister?
Thank you. Thank you. You can find me at ellensuazo.com and on my page, my Facebook page with Holistic Entrepreneur. Thank you so much. And we
Thank
look forward
you.
to next time.
Bye.